up, swashbucklers? You're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 80. My name is Phil Johnson. I'm your host for the show. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for telling your friends. That's a very, very important part of this show, is you telling your friends. So if you have not done that yet today, I thank you in advance for doing that later today. I know you will. Fun fact about the number 80 for episode 80. 80 is the atomic number of Mercury. I know that's not that fun a fact. 80, pretty boring number. Strangely, like you'd think it would have more to it, right? 80, it's a round number. It's divisible, things like that. Pretty boring number. Apparently, there's a Highway 80, which goes from San Francisco to New York. I did not know it went all the way across the country, but that's cool. So if you want to visit the whole country, take Highway 80. And it's also the atomic number of Mercury. Anyway, all the show notes, of course, for this show will be at underthecrossbones.com/080. My guest on the show today is Todd Willis of the Loose Cannon Company, which is one of my favorite names for a pirate reenactment group that I've heard so far. And they reenact, they entertain, they do all that kind of stuff. And we get into a bunch of different stuff today. We're going to talk about the pirate scene in Beaufort, North Carolina, where he is from. And, of course, they have a very large pirate festival there that the Loose Cannon Company is always a part of. He talks about how having an eye problem as a child turned him into a pirate. We'll hear that story. We also talk about raising your kids as pirates and teaching them right from wrong when you're dressing them up as criminals. So lots of good stuff in this talk, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. I know I did too. So other stuff happening. If you remember back on episode 70, we spoke with Tom Butler, who is a game designer creating a board game called The Pirate Republic. Well, guess what? The Kickstarter is up and a-running to make the Pirate Republic a real-life thing. And you should go get yourself a copy. They are kicking ass, man. They are killing it with the Kickstarter. They're already up above their goal. But the reason you want to get in on it is because you'll be one of the first people to get the board game, right? And it looks like a really cool board game, and it's called The Pirate Republic. So best way to do it, go over to Kickstarter.com and just do a search for The Pirate Republic, and it'll come up. I will also put the link in the show notes at underthecrossbones.com/080, so you can just link to it there. It's kind of one of those big, long URL kind of things. Yep. All right. I have a new single out. I have a new song that I released last week. It is called I Wanna Rock Socially Responsibly. And the premise of it is that a lot of the old rock and metal tunes that I listened to in my teenage years would not hold up lyrically in our more politically correct times. So I wrote a song in that style, but with more modern mindset about it. All right. It's some people have called it the funniest song I've ever written. Other people have reacted as if there were no jokes in it at all. So your mileage may vary. But I will put that single in the show notes so you can listen to it. Yeah, very easily. Underthecrossbones.com/080. There's going to be all sorts of stuff in the show notes today. I keep having to mention that. But here's my birthday's coming up this week on Thursday, on March the 2nd. I'm going to be one of those ages that has two digits that are the same digit. Yes, I am going to be 11 years old. And I don't do as much for my birthday anymore. I used to have a big show on my birthday every year. And I think last year or the year before was the first year I hadn't done a big show on my birthday in a while. Mostly my birthday centers around eating, which, as if you've been listening to the show for a while, much of my life centers around eating. And so I've been getting all my birthday coupons. You know, when you sign up for the email club at the restaurant or the whatever, the thing, and they send you a birthday coupon, right? So we started using the birthday coupons over the weekend. We had some Italian food. We had some pizza with a very nice dessert. Oh, this was the weird thing. We went to an Italian restaurant yesterday, a place here in Milpitas called Giorgio's, which has great food, service, a little weird sometimes, but the food is good. And so we paid the bill, or we gave the guy the coupon, right? Because I had a coupon. It was like the birthday coupon, the $10 off, whatever. It's like $10 meal credit, which is kind of chintzy. They used to just give you a free meal. But anyway, so $10 off the meal credit. I had a chicken parm sandwich, lunch, and my girl had a spaghetti bolognese, and it was all very lovely. And I give him the coupon, and I say, here, you might want this before you print up the check. And he goes, great. And he brings back the check and a dish of vanilla ice cream with a little candle in it, lights the candle. My girlfriend sings happy birthday to me, and it's all very lovely. Check comes, open the check. They charged me $1.95 for the vanilla ice cream. Now, that part is supposed to be, if they just bring it to you, it's supposed to be free, right? Dude brings me the vanilla ice cream. He goes, happy birthday. And I say, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. And then I paid $1.95 for it. That is so weird. I've never encountered that in a restaurant before. And I think it is a symptom of our declining morals in this country. I think there's a rip in the universe somewhere because your birthday ice cream at the restaurant is supposed to be free. Whatever. I just paid the $1.95. It's not that big a deal, I suppose. But that's what we've been doing. We've been eating birthday food all weekend, and I have many more coupons to go because they all come at the same time. And you can only use them for like a week. They're only good for a week, so you got to use them all up. So I'm gaining weight this week. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I was trying to think of what I'm going to do on my birthday. Because what are you supposed to do on your birthday? You're supposed to slack off, right? The problem is I don't like slacking off. I get bored easily. And so I am going probably to spend the day in my recording studio recording new music. Because then that feels like slacking off because I'm not doing like admin-y type of work, for my businesses. And I'm still getting something done. Yes. So I'm going to spend the entire day in my recording studio creating new music, which should be very enjoyable. Shows are coming up. Yes, I did some shows in San Francisco over the weekend that were fun and sort of interesting. Lots of different crowds in San Francisco, and they don't all like my jokes, but that's okay. The shows were fun. I did all right. It's pretty cool. This week, I'm going to pop into the Caravan Lounge in San Jose on Wednesday, March the 1st, if you want to pop in there. It's kind of open micy, but I got to go work on some new stuff. So if you happen to be in San Jose and you actually want to see one of the coolest, best comedy shows in San Jose, Caravan Lounge, March 1st. I'll be there. It's actually a cool little underground joint. But beyond that, March the 16th, which is Thursday, you can catch me in London, England, at the Monkey Business at Camden Eye. That's March the 16th. Tuesday, March the 21st. Back here in California, I will be at O'Malley's in Mountain View, California. Wednesday, March the 22nd, I'll be headlining a show at the 6th Street Playhouse in Santa Rosa, California. That's going to be a fun one. Thursday, March the 23rd, I'll be headlining at the Office in Ukiah, California. Friday, March the 24th, Spice Monkey, Oakland, California. Sunday, March 26th, the Crow's Nest, Santa Cruz, California. All of those are headlining shows. So come on out and watch me bang through the new material, which is going pretty well with people who like it. Sort of weird material, like it's material I know works. I know it's funny, and in front of many audiences, it does well. And some people are just made uncomfortable by it, which tells me that I'm probably doing something right. If you're enjoying the show, and I hope you are, please join us over on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/underthecrossbones, twitter.com/undercrossbones with no the, and make sure that you're subscribed, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartMusic, Overcast, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button, and then you get all the new episodes right in your phone every Tuesday morning when they come out. Nice and easy. We're not on Spotify yet. I keep trying. I looked the other day. We're still not on Spotify yet. That's the one. Hey, by the way, I've just found this out. If you're on Spotify, and I use Spotify really heavily, and I found out that you can only save 10,000 songs to your library, which is weird, right? Because it's just metadata. It's like a bookmark. And apparently I have 10,000 songs in there. Who knew? Because I like to, it's like shopping, right? Shopping without money, except for the $10 a month I pay them. And I ran into this limit. It's like, ooh, your collection's too big. I'm like, ooh, your limit is dumb. So I'm trying, and apparently like people have been complaining about this. So hopefully they'll fix it. But just so you know, if you're on Spotify, they have this weird, dumb little limit where they'll all of a sudden go, oh, you can't save any more albums to your library. I don't know why. Maybe I want all those Louis Armstrong records in there, and I'm gonna save them. Yeah. So anyway, side note. Anyway, yeah, if you want to help support the show, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it very much. Go to underthecrossbones.com/support. Right there's a little PayPal box. You can drop any amount in that box that you feel is appropriate and worth it to you. There's an Amazon banner. Click the Amazon banner. Buy yourself something nice, and Amazon kicks me back a few shekels. Not much. Doesn't change your price any at all, so that's a free way to support the show. I can't do it myself. That's against the rules. I can't click my own banner. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, if you have a product or a service that you think a pirate audience would like, let's hook you up. We can do that. The sponsor, it's cheap, it's easy. We'll hook it up. Go to underthecrossbones.com/support, and you can contact me from there. All right? Did we cover it all? new song, birthday food, shows, London. The planning for London is going crazy, man. Facebook, Twitter, I think we did it. Donations, Amazon, everything's coming. All right. Tom Butler, we talked about Tom Butler. Make sure you hit the Kickstarter. All right. We're going to talk to my guest, Todd Willis of the Loose Cannon Company. Check it out. So you run a reenactment group called the Loose Cannon Company. So tell me a little bit about what the group does, and then we'll kind of dig into the past.
All right. Well, we're actually a group from the Eastern Seaboard. We have members all up and down from all as far south as Georgia. We have them in Tennessee. We basically North Carolina, Virginia. I'm based out of Virginia Beach. But once we have events, we come from all over and join up. And a lot of the guys have been in the business for a long time, doing various stages of reenactment. Some do Revolutionary War stuff, Civil War stuff. And then we do the pirate stuff, which is 17. Our group is basically based about 1718.
Okay.
So
late Golden Age, then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. What kind of events do you guys do?
Well, we've been doing quite a few as the mainstay in Virginia Beach. We do a pirate party on the beach, which is more a kids event. Mm-hmm. Later on, 1st of June, we do the Hampton Blackbeard Festival, which is basically a recreation of his last battle in Ocracoke and the trial and that sort of thing. And that's a pretty big event. We have almost 100 reenactors from all over come for that, and it's a pretty big deal. We do some smaller events down in Denton, North Carolina. We do some charity stuff. One of our largest signature event is the Beaufort Pirate Invasion. It's in Beaufort, North Carolina. It's basically a reenactment of events that took place in 1747. Spanish privateers came in and they took the shipping. They came back 2 weeks later and sacked the town. Basically, everybody ran out of town. The pirates come in and took whatever they wanted. The local militia group, which was about 13, regrouped, grabbed farmers and that sort of thing. Basically, came back and repelled the pirates. And it's been said that 2 of them were killed in that action and are buried at the Ann Street Methodist Church, which is a real old graveyard in that city. Huh. It's one of the best events I've ever been to. They've really amped it up in the past couple of years. We have pyrotechnics where the ships it's basically held right on the water. Nice. There are pirate ships that go up and down the coast, firing their cannons. The pyrotechnics have impacts on land to coordinate with the cannon fire off the ships.
Oh, nice.
And we have... We go against the local militia. We repel them off, basically like the history says. They regroup, come back in, and basically kill most of us. They capture me, and then there's a small trial and a hanging, which hangings are always great fun. It's a family fun event. The whole family really enjoys a hanging. There's nothing like a guy kicking doing the hemp and jig, you know.
That's funny. So when you guys are doing something that is very historical based like that, where there is a record of what happened, what is there an educational component for the people that are watching so that they can really follow what's going on, or are they just kind of watching, trying to figure it out as it goes?
Well, it's almost a 3-day event. We get down there, we set up an encampment. We do living history the entire time we're there. Uh-huh. We set up an encampment, and our members are specialized in different areas of shipboard duties. Okay. We have a navigator, we have a surgeon. I pose as a ship's carpenter. I have a carpenter's mate, and we all have the tools of the trade. I do a carpentry demonstration with 17th century, 18th century tools, telling what I would do on the ship. As a surgeon, he'll go through his tools, and we actually have a couple of skits where we do a duel, and we shoot a guy, and then the surgeon comes and does the bull extraction. Oh. It's really bloody and gross, but and the guy's kicking and screaming the whole time. It's wonderful fun. The kids really love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's neat. So there is people are able to follow along with the action and go, okay, we know what's kind of coming up now. This is going to happen. So it's really a large scale theater piece, would you say?
Exactly. And we this past year, like I said, we really amped it up. We're using actors from. We had 2 actors come up from the Lost Colony here in the Outer Banks, and they really put a really good edge on it. And Steve Wetzel with the Shadow Players, based out of Raleigh. He's a stage combat guy, been an actor for years, and he really, as the director, put a lot of thought, put a lot of into the script, and it was actually something that was basically a major production right on the water. So the people that came out to see the event was really they got basically a killer show for free. You know, it's all free and open to the public. And anyway, so it was really stepped up from the last years where we kind of did it improv, you know. We had a basic storyline to go with, but now it's really a formal production, and it's really a blast.
That's interesting. Which way do you prefer it when you're doing that kind of thing? Do you prefer it as an improv, or do you prefer it to be more scripted?
Well, the more scripted thing is much better. At least we know what we're doing. Our group is really good at improv. We can bounce off each other really well. We play well with each other. We kind of know where the other guy's going. But if you have a formal script, it's much easier to follow through. And we're still going to do the improv stuff because that's the filler. And the audience doesn't know the script. So if we vary off from it, it all works out well.
There you go. Nice. So you said you've got a large group of people that are kind of spread out. How do you manage to wrangle people? Like, I have trouble managing the 8 people in my band to get everybody together to do something. How do you manage people that are all that spread out with so many people?
Well, you know, Facebook has got a marvelous thing called that messenger thing. Okay. And we have a group messenger page, basically, is for all my crew. And we talk on it all the time. A lot of time it gets way out of hand where we're teasing each other and joking that, you know, back and forth. But we also get out the information that's needed before events, what's to be expected, you know, we know where to be, what to do, that sort of thing by talking it out. My group also has an officers club. Basically, it's just the officers, and we talk about things that we decide to do as a company, and then we share it with the rest of the crew. Okay, cool. Interesting. So let's dig into the past a little bit. Where did you grow up? How did you become a pirate? Well, actually, I did grow up in Beaufort, North Carolina. My parents were born and raised in that area. As a small child, I had a lazy eye, and basically one eye drifts off a little bit. The fix for it back in the day was to put a patch over the strong eye, making the weak eye basically get a little stronger. Right. So as a kid, I couldn't really understand what the deal was of wearing a patch, but my mom says, well, you know, you're a pirate. So I walked around as a kid with an eye patch on saying I was a pirate. And the pirate invasion itself has been going on since about 1961, and it was derived as the founding fathers of the city to drum up business early in the season. They put on this pirate invasion, and it was done by the local fire department, that sort of thing. And it really got tourists from around to come to that area, and it really was a kickoff for the summer. Anyway, so I've been going to that ever since I was a kid and was really enthralled with pirates. So I've been a pirate my whole life because I really enjoyed that sort of thing. Near about every Halloween, I dress up like a pirate because I was told as a kid that I was a pirate. That's great. That's great. I dressed up every year as a pirate too for Halloween, so that's always fun. Is North Carolina a place? Is it a region that really sort of embraces its pirate history like that? Like parts of Florida really tend to embrace that, but parts of the Caribbean, some of the Caribbean islands, really do not embrace that part of their history. Does North Carolina get into that? Oh, most definitely. And Beaufort, North Carolina was known for Blackbeard visiting there. You know that in the late 80s, they found Queen Anne's Revenge, which was scuttled right there off of Beaufort. And they've always, even when I was a kid, of course, there's a house there that supposedly Blackbeard stayed in. It's called the Hammock House. They always call it the Blackbeard House. So there's always that kind of hype about the pirate life in North Carolina, all up and down the coast. You know, Ocracoke is really big on the outer banks of Nag's Head and Hatteras Island and all. It's a really big thing. You know, all the stores carry small pirate stuff for the kids because they love it. And of course, everywhere you go, there's a picture of either Blackbeard or pirates, that sort of thing. And there's always constant festivals. Of course, ECU, their mascot is the pirate. And so we do the ECU Pirate Fest every year, which is in April. And it's, you know, the whole school comes out and all the alumni, a lot of kids. It's a big kids event. It's a big 2-day type thing. And that's in, like I say, early April.
I like to see places do that. It seems that maybe they approach it in the way that the pirates were the bad guys and usually lose the battle. Is that true, the way they kind of approach it, or are they the folk heroes?
Well, it depends on who you talk to.
Okay.
and basically, in history, the authorities didn't like the pirates.
Sure.
The merchants didn't like the pirates, but most of the townsfolk did like the pirates. The pirates would come in with high quality products at bargain basement prices. I mean, you'd have sugar that had the king stamp on it, and they would sell it for a reduced price. Yeah, they had the best fabrics, they had the best clothes, they had cotton, tobacco, all these items that you could buy in the store for, let's say, $10 a piece. We'd sell them for $3 to $4 a piece.
Okay.
So it depends on who you talk to. Back in the day, like I say, most town folks loved the pirates because they traded that way, and it was a way for them to get a lot of merchandise for cheap prices.
Right. Interesting. So tell me about your first reenactment experience. How did you go from kid dressing up as a pirate on Halloween into I'm going to be a reenactor now?
Well, I have children. I have three kids. My oldest daughter, who's now an adult, and she's part of my crew and does this stuff with me. When she was 4 years old, they were doing an event in Norfolk, Virginia, and it was called the Blackbeard Pirate Jamboree. And we started going, and I was going. It was kind of thing that to take your kid and to a bonding experience for the kids. And we started doing it, and we met some really good people. I met Ben Cherry, who's been Blackbeard for years, all up and down the coast, and he's still doing it. He's out of Plymouth, North Carolina. And they were doing a kids thing called the Little Scallywags. And so I dressed my daughter up in her finest little pirate outfit, and the kids were supposed to run and up to the stage and basically tell them to let Blackbeard go because they had him in a stockade there on this little stage. Well, they had a dress rehearsal that Friday before the event, and it had rained earlier in the day, so it was kind of muddy here and there. My daughter, she's in her fine little outfit and stuff, and she runs up on the stage like they ask, and of course she slips down in a puddle, boom, hits that stuff, and I'm in just completely covered in mud. And of course she jumps up and her lips quiver and blah, 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 she's getting ready to cry. And, oh, baby, don't worry about it. She goes, but I messed up my clothes, Dad. I said, don't worry about that. We can wash that. Blackbeard got down there and said, hey, little girl, I tell you what, I got something that you can do. You come up here with your sword and you tell that man to let him go, like that. So she was the big star of the thing. And so on the day of the event, oh man, it was just something that really pulled us together as father and daughter, and we really enjoyed it together, and we just pursued it as a family from then on. And so that was about 25 years ago.
Oh, wow. Did she ever go through a phase of rebellion of, Dad, I don't want to be a pirate anymore, which seems like the way you would have to rebel as a teenager?
She has never been that way. She's always wanted to be a pirate, loved it to death. Now, I got a younger daughter who's 13 who could take it or leave it. She'll do it, if she's getting paid. But she's not as enthused as my older daughter is, and my older daughter really loves it, and her whole family now, her husband and her child, which is my grandson, they all dress up and come out. They're all part of the crew.
That's really fantastic.
In fact, my son-in-law is my right-hand man, Mr. Brown. the bosun Brown. Me and him do a lot of things together. We do a lot of our fight scenes together. We're always combining our hatred for each other, but it's actually really love. We love each other.
That's great. That's such a nice and strangely odd family activity. I think to let's all go be criminals together. Did you ever use how did you explain the different aspects of what a pirate is to your kids as they were growing up? Did you say, okay, these are, to some people these are criminals, to some people these are good guys? How did you? I mean, that's sort of a weird learning experience for a kid to absorb.
Well, the best way to deal with kids is be brutally honest. Kids don't want to be talked down to. They don't want to be, hey, little baby, this, that, and the other. You talk like a baby. If you talk to a kid like they know what they're doing, a kid's going to be really receptive to that.
Sure.
And I've always been as honest as I could with the kids, my own kids included. And I tell them straight up, this is what it was. A lot of pirates have been romanticized through Hollywood and this, that, and the other. A lot of them were bad folks. And like I said, with the townsfolk, a lot of them were scared of them. Some of them really enjoyed seeing them come in. I don't think that pirates really killed anybody unless they were somebody trying to kill them.
Right.
It wasn't that they were that kind of mean. It was life was different back in those days. People sailors that were on merchant ships, if they got paid at all, was usually not much. The food sucked. The captain could beat them if they wanted to, and so life on board a ship was really rough. But if they came across a pirate ship, one of the first things that the pirates would ask them if they wanted to join the ship. A lot of them became pirates that way because, hell, the hours were better, the work was easier, the food was better, the rum flowed constantly.
Right.
The drawback was it, if you got caught, you got hung.
Small drawback. Yeah.
Yeah. A short life and a merry one. That's right. What Bartholomew Roberts said. And of course, he lived up to it.
Yeah. I always thought that was an interesting lesson for kids. Because I know as a kid, as we were writing Pirates of the Caribbean and things like that, my parents were explaining that same kind of stuff to me. So it's always interesting to see how other people approach it. So where did the name come from? The Loose Cannon Company, because a lot of pirate groups, they have some sort of scary or tough sounding name, and yours is a little bit whimsical. Where did that come from?
Well, actually, my wife came up with it because I'm kind of a wild guy. I don't conform to what normal people do. I mean, when I do as I please, and I'm going to be as loud and obnoxious as I want to be because that's just my character. And I've been a member of a lot of reenactment groups, and a lot of times we parted ways on not the best of terms because I was who I was. A little too big for some people, and so my wife called me a loose cannon. Well, you're a loose cannon. You're everywhere you go is a loose cannon. The term loose cannon means when the ship is tossing and turning, if a cannon is not tied down correctly, of course, it wreaks havoc underneath the decks. So she always called me a loose cannon. So I started being basically the Loose Cannon Company by myself and my oldest daughter. And people that were doing other reenactments with other groups, they saw me and my daughter, and of course we had done stuff together with other groups, and a lot of them jumped ship from there and came and joined us, and we just got bigger and bigger over the years, and so we got a lot of fine folks that's been doing this stuff for years, and we take it very seriously. We try to keep our outfits as period correct as possible. Not that there's anything wrong with being fantasy-based type pirates.
Sure.
Because that's the way I was when I started out. But in order to kind of set us apart a little bit, we tried to be as politically and period correct with our outfits and our camp and how we teach our classes. But we also have take the edge off of the education and make it somewhat comical. You get a lot more attention from sugar than you do salt. So
absolutely.
If you can make a kid enjoy something, then they're going to take away from it a lot more than just being drilled facts. Kids don't want to just be spoken to. They want to be involved. So you try to make it entertaining for them. So that's the way our group does.
Okay. Is there because it was interesting when you said you started drawing other reenactors into your group. What do you think it is that makes a good reenactment group that other people want to join?
Well, a lot of them saw how me and the other members get along.
Okay.
And we've had our ups and downs. We've had people that's left us, but the majority of the folks that we have in our group, we're like an extended family.
Okay.
We respect each other. We joke each other. We're like a bunch of friends, and basically, like I say, an extended family. Mm-hmm. We really get along well. In every big group like that, you're going to have a little give and take. Sure. You know, there's a lot of give and take with me because I'm a complete asshole most of the time. But most of the guys know that I'm just joking, and I am who I am. They are who they are. So if you're going to be a friend, you've got to be able to take that.
Sure.
You know? So that's how we get along, and that's why people were drawn to us. And some of the other reenactors knew other people that I didn't know. Uh-huh. And, of course, they come and checked us out and said, well, damn, this group's pretty cool, you know. And like I say, we take it a little differently. We're not as serious behind the scenes as we are in front of the scenes.
Right. Are you still accepting new members on a regular basis? Can people get involved?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I mean, I can't expect all the members because it's a hobby. Basically, sure. You got to remember, it's a hobby.
Right.
People have actual jobs. I work all the time. I'm in construction and this sort of thing, and not everybody can do every event. So the more people we have, the more we can cover events. Uh-huh. So yeah, we are accepting members, and we have a set of rules, basically just like the pirate ships had back in the day, articles, uh-huh. And basically it spells out what we expect as a group and that sort of thing. And if you agree with it, then you sign them, and then you're a member of the company. That's the way there's no gray area. You know, what
Sure.
can I do and what can I do? When you're on the clock, there's no alcohol. We can't have, but after the clock's off, it's wide open end. And ain't nobody likes rum more than I do.
There you go. So where is a good place for people to find out online, to keep in touch with you and find out what you're doing?
Well, if you do a search on Facebook for the Loose Cannon Company / Mr. Willis, there's our entertainment page.
Okay.
Of course, my name is Todd Willis, and I'm on there. Most of the time my profile picture is of a pirate, in which that's my picture. Okay. Right now, I got a picture when I was about 3 years old, and I'm looking like a pirate then.
Well, I'll make sure to link up that Facebook page on the show notes for this as well, so people can come and see what you're doing. What kind of events do you have coming up in the next couple of months that people might check you out at?
Well, we're doing the MTA, which is Military Through the Ages, at Jamestown. That's in like mid-March, and we've got a couple of groups that are doing it. Now, as far as a professional group, we're not involved professionally with the MTA, uh-huh. But we have groups that are in that are some of our members are part of, and we're just kind of going and visiting them in kit. But the first event that we have is basically the ECU Pirate Fest in Greenville, North Carolina. That's coming up in April. It's a pretty big deal. We love that thing. And, of course, like I say, and 1st of June, Hampton Blackbeard Festival, that's one you don't want to miss. You definitely don't want to miss the one in August in Beaufort, North Carolina. If you got a chance on the East Coast, you want to see a premier pirate event, Beaufort Pirate Invasion is one to see.
Nice.
Beaufort Pirate Invasion is on the web. They got their own site, and if you punch up Beaufort Pirate Invasion, you can find that. If you look where Meet the Pirates, about halfway down, you'll see Mr. Willis and the Pirates of the Loose Cannon Company. And that's me.
That's you. Nice. Well, that all sounds really fun, and we will send some people over to your Facebook page to check it out. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk. This was really fun. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you want people to know?
Be good to each other.
There you go.
Drink lots of rum, and don't hurt nobody.
There you go. Nice.
Stay in school.
Good message. Yeah, right. All right, Todd, this was super great, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thank you, sir.
You bet. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. And there it is, friends. That is my interview with Todd Willis of the Loose Cannon Company. And now we know where the name comes from, because he's a loose cannon. Yeah. If you want to check them out, go over to Facebook and type in the search box, The Loose Cannon Company. That'll pop right up. And, of course, I'll link to it in the show notes at underthecrossbones.com/080. Under the Crossbones is sponsored today by Pirate Radio The Treasure Coast, WKKC-DB, playing the best music in pirate talk radio. And you can listen to Under the Crossbones on both their stations, music and talk. Just go to the Pirate Radio of the TreasureCoast.com or PirateRadioTC.com. And don't forget to download their apps, the Pirate Radio Treasure Coast app, which is their music station, and the Pirate Radio Talk app, which is their talk station. Good stuff over there. And this show become pretty popular. If you're listening, drop me a line. If you want to talk to me, if you have a guest suggestion, if you have a festival trip report, any of that kind of stuff, I would like to hear from you. I'd like to hear your lovely lilting voice. And all you have to do is call this number and leave me a voicemail. Ready? 408-599-2733. Again, that's 408-599-2733. Leave me a voicemail there. If it's a trip report or something cool, I might play it on the show. Yes, that would be fun. I should see if those numbers spell anything, because they're not real easy to remember. 599-2733. It's kind of easy, but I should find out if there's like a word, like maybe it's 408 go arg or something like that. Boy, that would be nice, but I doubt that would be lucky. That would be lucky, but I don't think it's going to happen. You know what I could use your help with here? I want to find out more about you. That's why I want to hear from you. And I wanted to find out more about you and where you are and what you like and all that kind of stuff. Do me a quick favor. Go to underthecrossbones.com/survey. There's a little 7-question survey there. Take you 30 seconds to fill it out. That would be a giant, major help to me to find out what I should be doing with the show, where I should take it, where we should do live ones, all that kind of good stuff, okay? Underthecrossbones.com/survey. And you can help me do the research on you and my audience. That would be great. I got an ebook for you. It's Alexander Exquemelin's Pirates of Panama or Buccaneers of America. Very seminal piece of pirate writing from the golden age of piracy from way back then. And you should check it out. If you haven't read it, it's great. Go to underthecrossbones.com, click on the free ebook button, and you can download it right there. Or if you're out and about, you're out jogging or eating birthday food, and all you have is your phone, text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. Text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. All right, that is our show for today, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you want to find out more about Todd Willis and the Loose Cannon Company, go to facebook.com/The Loose Cannon Company, and you can check them out there. If you want to make sure you get your copy of the Pirate Republic board game, go to Kickstarter and search The Pirate Republic, and you can get yourself one, and Tom Butler will be super, super happy. If you want to check out my new single or any of the other stuff that I said, I'm just going to link up in the show notes, websites, videos, links, all that kind of stuff. Go to underthecrossbones.com/080. All right, I'll see you next week when we will be in the final throes of London preparation, and I'll tell you all about it then. All right, bye.